Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. Welcome to my review for the second episode of the brand new Star Trek TV show, Star Trek Strange New Worlds. This second episode is called Children of the Comet, and it is the second episode in a 13-episode run of the first season of Strange New Worlds. Now, if you didn't see my review for the pilot episode, which was called Strange New Worlds, I was really impressed with the start of this new show, and I explained in that show, and I'll explain briefly here. I'm a big fan of Star Trek, as you'll probably see with a lot of the content that I put up on the channel. I have been avoiding the most recent Star Trek TV shows like Discovery, etc., because they've not been going down well with Star Trek fans for the most part. I do enjoy the new Kelvin Timeline films. I know a lot of people don't, but I do really like them, and I grew up with Star Trek. I think they're good, entertaining, well-made films. But I'd heard really good things about this, and it was going to be a throwback to Star Trek of old, like episodic Star Trek shows with no real arc within it. Not really. It's just a different story each week. Classic Star Trek like we used to get in the good old days. With the William Shatner days in the 60s, and even the Star Trek Next Generation, and you could argue DS9 and Voyager and things like that as well. So this has really been quite popular with hardcore Star Trek fans, this show, so far anyway, and this second episode doesn't buck that trend at all. I have to say, I was majorly impressed with this episode as well. And the main story for this second episode is you get more at the beginning of the episode of the crew getting to know each other, because it's full of new faces, full of new cadets. Captain Pike holds like a get together in his quarters for key members of the crew, for him to get to know each other. And this episode essentially kind of puts Uhura in the forefront. She's got doubts whether Starfleet's for her. She's obviously very gifted in regards to languages and all this kind of stuff. And they come across this comet that looks like it's on a collision course with a planet. And this planet has not developed at all, or not really anyway. And so they can't do anything about it themselves, this planet. And if the Enterprise doesn't intervene, it's going to be on a collision course with this planet and destroy it. So they decide to try and destroy this comet. However, it's shielded. They can't do it. And it appears that there's some kind of technology within this comet that they don't understand. Spock, Uhura, Kirk, not Jim Kirk. I think it's his dad anyway. Another one. They beam down to this comet to try and figure out what's going on. They essentially get trapped there. And then this race of creatures called the Shepherds, who have got technology more advanced than the Enterprise, essentially contact them and say, look, back off, leave this comet alone, or we're going to destroy you. They're called the Shepherds, so they treat this comet almost like it's a sign from God, almost, sort of thing, that this comet is on its own path. If it decides to destroy this planet, it will. If it decides to go around it, it will. Everything is preordained what this comet does. Now, this is very hard, obviously, for Pike and others to believe. So they try and put plans in motion to still try and intervene, even though they are under threat, be destroyed by these Shepherds. And so the episode plays out. So, yeah, it was really, really good. Nobody stole the limelight. It wasn't, again, trying to feed us a message or anything like that. It didn't have its own agenda, this episode. It was just telling a classic Star Trek story. New planets, new species, a fun story, and with a mixture of off the ship stuff, like down on the comet, and debate and stuff with on the ship. It was good. It was fun at times. The dialogue was well done. It was really entertaining, and there was a good mix and balance of many of the characters having the spotlight here in this episode. But like I say, I think this episode was primarily an Uhura episode, in a sense, so she took the centre stage, if you like. And I'm really hoping that they do this with all these episodes. And kind of, put characters in the spotlight like they used to do, like I say, in the old days with the Star Trek episodes. Certain characters would get the opportunity to shine, you know, in regards to certain episodes. And I'm really, really hopeful that this can continue to be strong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not expecting every single episode to knock it out of the park. I would love it if it did, but I'm not expecting it. I'm sure there will be some missteps here and there along the way, but this episode, thankfully, certainly isn't one of them. It continues the strong opening from the pilot episode. It's a really good continuation. And can I just say, I just think the effects are absolutely outstanding. I mean, mind-blowing stuff. I genuinely, and I think I said this on the last review I did, the Enterprise has never looked as good as it does in this episode. It really, really blew me away, the effects here. I mean, they've put a lot of time and effort into this. They've done it, I think, with real love and care and respect for the franchise, and I really appreciate that, being a Star Trek fan myself. So it's another 9 out of 10 from me. It's just as good as the pilot episode, and I really can't wait for the next one. So when you get the opportunity, guys, if you like Star Trek at all, this is definitely worth checking out. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this review useful, and of course I'll be back with plenty more reviews and Star Trek reviews on the channel very, very soon.